come riusciamo o come meglio possiamo riuscire a essere un po' meno irrazionali, un po' meno emotivi nelle nostre scelte di investimento e come possiamo allenare la nostra capacità di comprendere i numeri evitando l'inganno del pensiero annabbiato. Lei ha scritto diversi libri in questa direzione. Quali sono gli spunti più utili e più pratici che può aiutarci a consegnare ai nostri ascoltatori?
Yeah, of course we could. If we would just recognize that there is a problem, the problem is called innumeracy, particular the inability to deal with statistics such as percentages and other statistical values. We teach our children the mathematics of certainty, algebra, trigonometry, but rarely the mathematics of uncertainty, that is, statistical thinking. And if we teach, then it's often taught in a way, it's taught like the mathematical discipline of statistics, where most people don't know why this matters. And that's happening in medical schools, and that's happening in other schools. So the studies I have done and others with medical doctors, with nurses, with medical students show that they have never been really taught to understand health statistics. Roughly 70 to 80% of medical doctors do not really understand health statistics. That means they are not in a position to read and understand an article in their own field. That means they have no direct access and the abilities to judge the medical literature. If only patients would know that, then they would be rightly worried. And the problem is not in the medical mind. The problem is that medical students are not being taught to understand the health statistics. And we can change that. We can change courses. And I've written books on that, like Reckoning with Risk or Risk Savvy, where one can take the materials and make everyone, not only medical students, risk literate. The same problem is in court. Then judges or lawyers are rarely ever taught to understand DNA evidence or similar statistics. And the same problem is almost everywhere in our society. Politicians are another group who should understand numbers. They are dealing with big numbers. A study by the Royal Society of London, the Royal Statistical Society of London, is a very interesting example because politicians are rarely being studied. They asked the members of parliament whether they would be willing to take a simple statistical test, and about 100 volunteered. That was in 2012. One of the questions was, if you throw a fair coin twice, what is the chance and what's the expectation that it comes up twice head? What do you think? What's the probability that a fair coin thrown twice comes up twice head? Now, it's quite simple, isn't it? It's 1 out of 4 possible cases, so it's 25%. But only half of the members of parliament understood. The other half did not. And actually, more than half, about 60%, did not understand. And many of them thought, oh, it's still 50%. The Royal Statistical Society repeated the test 10 years later in 2022. And now, those who understood increased from 40 to 50%, but still, half of the members of the parliament don't even understand such simple statistics. And think about, these are also the people who dealt with the big Brexit numbers. And here is another, a general point is, today, statistical literacy is as important as more than 100 years ago to learn to read and write. And we need to start and not wait.